Thank you guys all so much for sticking with us here. We're about to wrap up. We've got another presentation after this, but I'm Amy May with Jam Collective again, and I'm super excited to introduce you guys to Marion Young. She is the Senior Manager of Brand Communications at Arcteryx. So hi, Marion, how's it going?
Really good. Nice to see you, Amy. And thanks everybody for being here. I haven't seen Brent. I haven't seen you in like 2 years, and it's great to see you. Maybe you're gone, but maybe you're still here. Just talking out into the ether.
Yeah.
But nice to see some familiar faces. I'm gonna kick it off. So I work at Arcteryx, and I'm actually at our office right now. We have a beautiful sunny day, so I've got a nice view in front of me. In the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can see where our office is located in North Vancouver. We are at the base of the Coast Mountains, and really this is where all our products start out in our design center. Everything that you'll see here today has been designed inside this laboratory. It looks a little bit crazy, but we actually do make some really amazing products here. Here inside this building, we have all the tools and technology and the talent to make every product in our line. So it allows us to test and prototype and get out into the mountains that you could kind of see in that first photo and put products to test like in the next day. So we really believe in that, and that's like been core to our brand since we started about 32 years ago. I'm gonna jump into it for spring 22. We have the Aerios AR Mid Gore-Tex boot. I have one with me here today. Beautiful hiker, and it's new to our line. It's something that our team kind of concepted a couple of years ago when we realized we wanted to get into making more of a multi-day hiker. And for our products, like I mentioned, we draw a lot of inspiration from our backyard, and this product is no different. This boot is no different. So for the Aerios AR Mid Gore-Tex boot, the inspiration was the West Coast Trail. If you've ever been to Vancouver Island, or maybe you've heard about the West Coast Trail, it's a really iconic multi-day hike, and it's located on the west coast of Vancouver Island. 47 miles I converted for the Americans, all of you today. And we've got a really kind of a bucket list journey that people have to reserve and plan ahead for. And as you can see in some of these photos, the conditions are really intense. So you're carrying a heavy pack. It's fully self-supported journey. You're going through deep mud, you're climbing through water, rain, muck, ladders, and whatever the weather has in store for you, which is always it's always changing on the coast. So this is something that we designed the Aerios for. We designed the Aerios AR Mid for this journey specifically, and the reason being is we thought that if someone could find a boot where they're really comfortable and they feel supported and happy to wear during that journey, then it would translate to locations all around the world. So it can stand up to those conditions, then it can stand up to folks hiking in Korea or hiking in Japan. And that was really the inspiration behind this boot. And so the main objective of the Aerios AR Mid was to provide comfort and motion. So when you open your tent in the morning, you're not like, hell no, I'm not putting those boots on. You're excited to put them on because they've dried quickly. We have really great materials package in here, and you feel really confident and comfortable putting them on. There's a 3D articulated tongue and ankle package. And so as soon as you put these on, you immediately feel the support they're going to provide to you. They're really efficient and sure-footed. We didn't want anyone to feel like they were clunky or heavy. We love the lightweight here at Arcteryx, and we wanted the Aerios to move with you when you're hiking. So most boots in this category, which is a multi-day hike category, this is not a traditional hiker. This is more of like a modern hiker. They weigh in at about 600 grams, and the Aerios is weighing in at 550 grams, We recognize that every gram counts when you're on a journey like this, a self-supported hiking journey. I want to have more room for wine than I want to have for my gear. So that's definitely my priority. And yeah, so that was the aim of our design team. And then lastly was element management. So making sure that mud is shedding off the material really nicely. They're fully waterproof, and you can keep your feet dry so you're not hating your life. Yeah, the Aerials are just a really comfortable boot that move with your body, move in sync with you, making you feel confident and nimble when you're taking on these backpacking journeys, so that you can really enjoy the time out there with your friends. We know it's a really unique experience. I myself love getting out and doing this kind of thing. So yeah, I'd rather not be thinking about my gear and just thinking about enjoying myself with my friends. If anyone has any questions on the Aerials, happy to field those. Otherwise, I'm just going to move on to the Beta LT Hadron jacket. And I've actually got one behind me somewhere here. This is, maybe you're familiar with this Hadron material, but it is pretty new to the Arcteryx line. We introduced the Hadron material first in our packs. So it's a material that's woven with liquid crystal polymer. I'm going to put it really close to the screen and maybe you'll be able to see the gridding. I don't think so. So you got to get a sample and see it in real life, because it is really a unique feel, and it's also just like paper thin. And this is, so we started out with this in our pack line. Our design team was obsessed with it, and they were like, how can we incorporate this into more products? Because it's so lightweight and so durable. That's really the two things that the Hadron provides to the user. And we finally were able to bring it into our line in this past spring 21. And then for spring 22, we're introducing the Beta LT Hadron. So when we first introduced it into our jackets, we just had an alpha anorak, which was exclusively a climbing shell. So the anorak style, super minimalist, for those that are like absolutely counting every gram of weight. And I'm excited to see the Beta in the line, because the Beta just has a little bit more versatility. It's got pockets, it's got a front zip, meaning like you're not, I get the anorak for the climbers because you're out there in the wind and you just need something that's like going to get on and stay on. But for me, I'm excited for this piece because yeah, you can hike with it. You can just throw in your bag. You can ski tour with it. It just offers a ton of versatility to the user. And so this iteration it uses a 20D nylon yarn that's been engineered with liquid crystal polymer. And the 20D equates to a fabric that's as strong as a fabric twice its weight, essentially. So it's paired with Gore-Tex. It's lightweight, it's hard wearing, breathable protection. And really the user for this piece is somebody that wants something more versatile. They're not exclusively a climber, but they might climb. It still fits perfectly with your harness. It's helmet compatible if you are climbing, and you can see really well without impacting your vision. And we do offer this in a pant. I've got the pant behind me here, which I think is another like amazing piece for spring. Just a ton of versatility, super, super lightweight, barely like feel this in your hands, which is really cool. And the material has been dope dyed, so it's a little bit less resource intensive, and it's all been Blue Sign approved. And so that is it for the Beta LT Hadron. I'm going to move on to our Beta jacket, which for me is, or not for me, but for users, is really more of a versatile option. This is for like more of a general outdoor user. So this jacket will speak to a lot more people than something like the Beta LT Hadron. It's somebody that loves getting outside and they value staying protected, but they don't need all of the technical features of something like the Beta LT Hadron. They're not like counting every gram. Maybe they're like more of a weekend warrior, or they're just someone that lives somewhere rainy and needs some weather protection. I see so many people, it's been so stormy here the last few days. I see so many people walking around with umbrellas and no jacket. And I'm like, get a Gore-Tex jacket. It will change your life. Obviously, because I work at Arcteryx, I'm like, this is what I preach, but it does actually change your life. And I think if more, especially if you live somewhere like Vancouver, but if more people were introduced to like Gore-Tex for everyday use, they would actually be a lot more comfortable and happy. Anyways, that's a little bit of a side note, but this is a Gore-Tex jacket with C-knit backer, so it's a little bit quieter, a little bit more supple, and than what you traditionally see in like, you know, your typical Gore-Tex jacket, or what you think of. It's got a lower profile hood, and the cut is nice and long. It looks a little bit less outdoorsy, as I like to say. And it's something that I would say, like, I would recommend this jacket to any of my friends, regardless of if they like to get outside or if they just like need to go outside to do things. So there's a ton of versatility in this piece. Again, blue sign approved material. And this is $350 US. So it does clock in at a little bit lower than our Beta LT Hadron, which is $450, based on the materials used and the design, but it's still a really durable piece that people will have in their closet or in their gear library for years to come. And that's it for the Beta jacket. And we'll move on to the Conseil packs. So Arcteryx started out as a climbing brand 32 years ago. And we were missing a crag pack in our line. It's been about a good number of years since we've had a crag pack in the line. We had the Mira in our collection, and our athletes and our core users have been asking for it. So I actually found some cool photos of the Mira from 2013, which I thought were neat to see. I love looking back at like our old school designs, and we're actually working on pulling together a bit of an archive internally. So it's kind of a fun thing that we get to see what's been kicking around. And it's good to see like how our designs have evolved and what stayed the same. So a lot of like really timeless elements in that piece. But we're not here to talk about the Mira, we're here to talk about the Conseil. I've got one of the big 40 liters here today. I think I won't even show you. The pictures are gonna do a better job at showing you than I will right now. So we have 3 sizes available in this pack. We worked really closely with one of our athletes, Jonathan Segrist, who, aka J-Star. He was heavily involved in the concepting of this bag, and he's really dubbed it the best crag pack he's ever used. So he's super stoked. Our climb designer, Ryan, works super closely with our athlete team, generating feedback and incorporating that into our product design. So for the 15-liter Conseil, it's really low profile. That's the one that you can see on the left-hand side there. It's designed for multi-pitches, and the design is such that you won't hit your head against it when you're climbing. It's really durable and really streamlined. It uses our Hadron material that I can't stop talking about, and makes it really easy to access your chalk bag, your gear loops. Really, the bag has been considered for the user and the rock climber. But I think that the design will make it something that folks will use outside of climbing, which is always really nice. We want people to get a ton of use out of their products. And so I could see people using this around town or gym climbing. And then Conseil 40 and 55 liter, on the right-hand side there, they both have the same feature set, except for the volume is different. So really the user would choose the size depending on maybe their size and what kind of approaches they're doing. So these packs are designed to carry a lot of weight and provide carrying comfort, but in classic Arcteryx style, they're really minimalist. They're pared down from the outside, but they have a ton of storage options and like ways to customize all your gear inside. And it's really amazing what you can fit inside one of these bags. They can stand up on their own, which is really nice. So you're not like wrestling with your pack when you're at the crag. I got some nice like grab handle on the top, and on the front. I'm not really Vanna White, but here I am. Anyways, they have like fully featured out. There's lots of different zones so you can access your gear, and you can keep things really organized, which is really nice for some. There's compression straps on the side, and those are removable as well. The suspension uses a design that our team has used for years and years. It's really tried and tested for Arcteryx. So we're really confident in that. And the hip belt is such that it fits a lot of different bodies. Our team studies like ergonomics and looks at what fits different bodies well. And the console has been considered for that. It's got an adjustable sternum strap, risers, and stabilizers. The console line is going to offer users a durable cragging pack that's going to keep gear easily organized, make loading and unloading easy, and provide a comfortable carry on those long approaches, especially for the 40 and 55 liter. And that's it for the conceal. Next, I'm going to touch on something that maybe you're familiar with, maybe you're not. Earlier this year, we launched Rebird, which is sort of an ode to all of our upcycling, circularity, and initiatives in the consumer landscape. And this marks an organization-wide commitment to shift away from a take, make, waste economy. So I think it's important we're talking about all these new products for us to look at the products that we maybe already have inside of our closet. Like, how can we keep those in play for longer? How can we encourage people to look after their gear so that people can use it for years and years? Or if they're not looking after it, what we've developed is Arcteryx Used Gear, which is we call it re-commerce platform, where you can sell your product back to Arcteryx and we will repair it or clean it and make it look really nice again and put it up for sale on our used gear website, which right now is only available in the US. We're expanding to Canada next year, which is really exciting. And we have, you can take your gear back to any Arcteryx store and trade it in. This initiative is like really sparked from the inside of the brand. And we've committed to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by 65% by 2030. So that's what's driving us. And because we've committed to these science-based targets, we have to report on this year over year. So Rebird is one way of us examining what we're doing and what we're putting out into the world. And we're always looking to design out waste and pollution from our system so we can try and respect the resources of the planet. So what you're seeing on the screen here is some of the products that we have both made from end of life or end of the roll material, like the Gamma jacket that you're looking at on the right-hand side. And then the totes and the pouch that you see on the screen are part of our Rebird program that we made from products that we couldn't repair. So we get products back. Sometimes we're not able to repair. Our team takes these to Arc One, our factory here in the Lower Mainland, and they look at what we can do with them. And so we'll continue to see that evolve in 2022. The totes are already out into the world, but the Gamma will be launching in early December. And this work has been happening as long as Arcteryx has been around. Like, it's been happening on the inside more so. We've always been repairing product, but now we're really making it more public, and we're making a statement and trying to raise awareness about it, because I find there's not everyone knows how to look after their products properly, myself included, until I started working here. And it's something that, like, it's not intuitive to put your rain jacket in the dryer. And this Rebird Service Center that you can see on the screen here is really touching on that. So we just opened this 2 weeks ago in New York, and this is the first physical space that we have dedicated to care and repair. Our stores will do kind of minimal care and repair already, but now we have somewhere that people can come in. Let's say you have like a hole in your jacket, and you can either patch it, or if you want to have that entire panel replaced, you can pick out the color that you'd like of the Gore-Tex there. They won't be able to do a repair as technical as that in store, but they'll provide you with the material and send it off to have it repaired. Same goes for zippers, but if you need like just a zipper pull replaced, or you want to patch up your puffy or patch up your Gore, they can absolutely do that. And they have the machines in store to test the waterproofness, which is really cool. There's like a suitor tester. You can put it down on the machine, pumps water through it, and see the effectiveness of the repair. And yeah, on the left-hand side there, you'll see some of the used gear product that we have for sale available in the store, which is the first store that we're actually have a permanent space dedicated to selling used gear. So really hoping that this drives awareness, and we're looking to open more of these spaces in 2022 in the US, in Boulder, and then in Vancouver, one at our Kitsilano store. So I'm personally excited about this. I think it's awesome. I think like the education that it'll provide to people, and right now all these services are free. So people can come in and like both learn, get their jacket washed if they don't need any like intensive repair, but it makes it easy for people to just learn, get assessments done, and find unique products. Like everyone is really obsessed with all the different color patches on like those serums that you can see on the left-hand side. The jacket you can kind of just make out on the right is a jacket that we're using to show what kind of repairs we can do, so people can get a really good sense of what it could look like. And what we're finding is people are like, I want that jacket. How do I get my hands on that really cool colorway? And so maybe people are going to start like intentionally ripping their jacket. So I hope not. But I mean, I definitely would, there's some cool things that I would like to do to some of my pieces. And so that's it for the Rebird section. That's it for Arcteryx, really. If anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to field them, and always happy to connect you with our design team if you're interested in learning more about any of the designs we went over today. Same goes for samples, of course. And if you're interested in learning more about the Rebird program, I would love to connect you with Dom, who's our VP of Recommerce. She's really driving the program here at Arcteryx and is really excited to talk about it, honestly.
Yeah, I have one little statistic that I looked up from the fact sheet that you guys had for the service center opening. It's that 65% of the impact from a jacket comes before it even reaches the rack. So I think that's crazy. So I love what Arcteryx is doing, just really stretching the lifespan of a product so that we can keep it in use for a longer amount of time. Lawrence, we set up a little tour for Lawrence and the guys at Carryology this weekend. And Lawrence says he had an amazing time visiting. It's an awesome facility.
So cool.
So yeah. I can't wait to see it myself. So I have just a couple things, a few little notes. You were cruising. But everybody, please feel free to drop some questions in there. We'll do our best to get them answered. I did have one note that some folks are having a hard time finding the media sites. And so what you're going to want to do is go to outside-jam.com, and up in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little, I think it says media. You're going to want to click on that, and then you need to spell out the password, which is Tamalpais. I am not from the Bay Area, so it's TAMALPAIS. And you can find everything there. Oh, there it is for you to spell it out. There you go. And I had a couple other things that I thought we might want to chat about while we still have a couple more minutes. So with the beta family, while you were chatting, I did some counting of all the different types of beta. And a lot of times I get folks that email me and they say, Amy, can you send me a beta? And I have to ask a few more questions because, now we've got the beta jacket, which was the more, I don't want to say lifestyle, but crossover piece, less outdoorsy, as Marian said. And then the beta LT Hadron. There's also, and Marian, correct me if I'm wrong, if these will stay in the line, the beta LT will stay in the line. Yeah. The beta SV for severe, the beta AR for all around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing amazing.
Is there also a beta long? Will the beta long stay?
The beta long will stay. This is getting really excessive, but the beta long is just what it sounds like. It's a longer cut, which is honestly for me really nice. And just like covers your butt, which is really nice. But so yeah, what we've done is we used to have 3 different jacket franchises, and there's Alpha, which is like for our ice climb mountaineer, kind of like we look at it like top of the mountain. They're out there and they're like getting amongst it. It's ice climbing, they're mountaineering, they're alpinists. The beta family is like a general mountain use. So it's made for on mountain, but it's just not as aggressive and hardcore as something in the alpha family. And then we currently have our Zeta family, which is general hiking. And we're going away with the Zeta family and we're moving everything into the beta family. And so hence why the beta family is expanding. And the beta AR, the beta LT, and the beta LT Hadron, I would say they each have like a slightly different feature set. So they're really more technical pieces for someone who maybe has specific intentions in the outdoors or has specific goals, like they know they're going to be using this for this such thing. And then the beta jacket with with nothing at the end is just going to be is really more of a general outdoor user, if that makes sense. Hopefully that clears it up. Like I find it confusing and I work here, so it's always changing, but I think of beta for like all mountain use, and then the different considerations just really thoughtful for the user, depending on what sort of technical pursuits they're after, or depending on what sort of general outdoor pursuits they're after. But yeah, does that help a little bit?
Totally does. And
Hopefully.
You guys have a great page on your website that kind of outlines the naming schemes and what all the abbreviations stand for. So I live on that page on a day-to-day basis, but it's really cool. So media, I think you guys should check that out as well. One other thing that I think I get questions about sometimes is folks are seeing the term archetype pop up. What is an archetype style?
Yeah, so archetype is really like our Arcteryx favorites or Arcteryx icons that have been in the line for a good number of years. And they really represent our stance on design, our stance on, we call it beautiful design. And they're all pieces that haven't necessarily been decided by us, but they've been decided by our users because they have continued going back to these pieces year over year. And we will never we'll always work to iterate and improve these pieces, but we won't like fully redesign them away from what their initial intent was. So the beta AR is one of those archetype pieces, and the name just representing something that we consider to be like the archetype of Arcteryx. So if you were new to the brand, I would point you to a product in that category, because a lot of those pieces are really, really versatile, which is amazing because you're going to get a ton of use out of a jacket like an Atom. It's going to last you a lifetime, and you're going to be always, it's one like the piece that you're always reaching for, I would say. And yeah, just been in the line for a number of years and really decided not by the brand decided what they were, but because of what our users told us.
Awesome. And I see we've got 1 minute here, but I do have just one tiny call out that I know I'm going to get questions about. The colors on the Conceal packs are sample colorways.
Yes.
The inline colors are also just as rad, I promise. But those really cool white and kind of gray colorways are just samples. So hit me up if you guys, hit me up if you guys want to test anything, if you guys want to chat with Marion or the team, whether it's product focused or Rebird, we would love to connect you. So with that, thank you so much, Marion. And I will kick it over to Alice, and I think we're going to talk about some beer, I hope.
Yeah.